Hi, my name is Mia Rodriguez Marin. This is my slideshow that I have potentially created to share with families for my 60-minute presentation. So I chose to discuss providing healthy meals for your family while facing barriers. So what challenges families might face while trying to provide nutritious meals. I additionally wanted to say, I'm sorry if my camera is not looking too well. I'm not too sure what's going on, but let's get into it. So, a big obstacle I noticed when discussing meals is financial constraints. A lot of families are faced with financial constraints. There were a lot of studies that I found, but one of the more reliable ones was one done by the CDC in 2023. It recorded 13.5% of American households are faced with food insecurity, and the food insecurity is basically divided into two different genres. So there's low food insecurity, meaning that families are still able to have meals every day, just um they may not be as nutrition filled versus very low food security is where families are struggling to provide meals within their day, whether that's lunch, breakfast, or dinner. So, due to the uprise in the cost of groceries, families may lack buying food with high nutrition. So, they opt out to buy foods with less nutritional value, and this can later lead into health issues and disease. Meal planning can help families. So, solution is having families meal plan. This would help with the cost of groceries as well as avoid impulsively buying items when grocery shopping. Sorry, this can also be done by um, giving families not a template, but rather a handout of how to prepare a list or what some important things should be on your list when going grocery shopping. Okay. So then another one is dietary restrictions. So it can be difficult creating meals for the entire family when one individual within the family has some type of dietary restriction. So, because of this restriction, this can cause families to lack important nutrients within meals. So, whether that's dairy, because someone may be lactose intolerant, or as well as gluten. Those are just some examples. Another thing is increased price on alternative foods. So, substitutes for these foods that individuals might have allergies to tend to be more expensive. So some solutions would be being mindful of the restrictions that individuals have within the family, creating recipes together, which kind of work with everyone, and this would be a fun family activity, as well as creating your own recipe or cookbook at home. Okay, and then finicky eating. So finicky eating is very common in younger age children, early childhood. Um, there's difficulty having children eat proper meals, and this can lead to improper nutrition and the lack of proper development due to inconsistent nutrition or areas in which, you know, new important nutrients are not being met. So finding resolutions can be difficult for finicky eaters. They tried it once or it might not look appetizing to them. So, one and done. But some solutions may be just being patient, you know, as well as keeping a positive attitude. You want to make sure that atmosphere is happy as well as making sure they don't feel pressured to try and taste the food or try something again, as well as discussing the challenges you face with medical professionals. So whether that's your pediatrician or nutritionalists to kind of get their input as they are medical professionals to get their input on how to face these challenges, what are some solutions. Additionally, having fun trying new foods. So, a lot of people eat with their eyes first. So, trying new food, colorful food. So, trying a variety of veggies and fruits, and just planning foods and cooking together can really be an activity for a family, and this will help with that finicky eating. As well as another topic, lack of cooking skills and nutritional awareness. So, lack of cooking within a household can lead to regular consumption of unhealthy foods, and this can later lead into obesity. So, families consuming meals that are high in calories and low in nutritional value. This was also brought up when discussing financial constraints, as you know, uh, it's more important, or a lot of people prioritize eating rather than the nutrients or what exactly they're eating due to the cost. So the lack of cooking can also cause which can negatively gaps in nutrition, which can negatively impact the child's development. So, cooking cooking meals at home should also, when cooking meals at home, you should take into consideration all the different nutritional areas which add to that development. So, cooking and finding recipes can be difficult, but it positively impacts a child's nutritional choices now and in the future. So, you kind of do lead by example. So some solutions would be looking for healthy but easy meals to cook at home. And there's a lot of recipes as well as videos online that if I was presenting to families, we would watch a video, or if I had the resources to print out handouts for recipes or give them links to websites in which they can find easy and low cost recipes to cook at home, as well as reading articles and watching informational videos, as mentioned, would be another activity. So, another thing that is important to take into consideration is media influence. Media influence is everywhere, whether that's television, billboards, magazines, all of the above. So, there has been studies and videos done on how children recognize the logo of McDonald's rather than a picture of Jesus Christ, which is interesting, but you can definitely find that online. So big food corporations have continuously advertised unhealthy foods as well as using toys or play areas to advertise them towards children. This can also be influenced by peers. So maybe your child doesn't see lots of media or isn't online, but their peers do mention these things or it is brought up within them, as well as unhealthy diets that do not fulfill areas that are needed or nutritional areas that are needed within each meal. So this can further negatively impact individuals as well as children when it comes to their body image and how they view themselves because of these trends um, or uh, unhealthy diets. So some solutions can be families sitting down and discussing how this media impacts the food choices we make. So asking ourselves, what nutritional value does this meal carry, or is this healthy? Things like that, as well as reducing screen time and overall media consumption, um, can help with the influence of it. And then these are just some links as well as resources I would be able to discuss with families. So accessibility to healthy food. So having access to healthy food as well as a positive information can help educate our nutritional decisions, as well as other resources that are available. So WIC is a great program that's for women, infant, and children, as well as SNAP, which would help the cost of groceries. The FDPIR, which is Food Distribution Program on Indian Reservations, and Food Insecurity Screening for adults. This is just a couple of the resources I would be able to discuss with the families and go further into depth, as well as give them further information or links to use these resources. And then here are just some of the resources I used overall when researching and bringing my slides together. Thank you so much.